right, yes, people, welcome to the Real Talk Premier League debate show. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the building. We've got the band back for the first time in about how many months? 1906. Tobias, myself, Shaq. All right, we're going to do something different. We're not going to talk about the Premier League because it's just stupid transfers, rumours. No one knows what's happening. It's being super quiet. So we're going to talk about footballers past and present. Top 10 best footballers you've seen of all time, but you've got to have seen them. So I can't put, like I said, I can't put in Pele and Maradona, which they would be mine for historically, but I didn't see them. So I'm not putting them in. You've got to put players in that you saw.
But there's still a lot of players, and also it's going to be top heavy of a certain position. You've got to put in a criteria of a minimum of a goalkeeper and Otherwise, you know what I'm saying? You're always going to go attacking players.
But I've got defenders in my. You can have defenders in yours, but I think the criteria has got to be. It's got to be what they've won individually, what they've won as a team, consistency, longevity, and the biggest one for me is the eye test. What you see with your eyes, because I think what these new generation of people are not looking at. What they saw with their eyes, they'll be telling you, "Oh, well, he didn't score 54 goals a season. He wasn't that good." Like, shut up, bruv. Like, man can't tell me about Ronaldinho. I see Ronaldinho in my eyes. No one's played like him in my lifetime. So don't tell me, "Oh, he didn't score 28 goals." Shut up, bruv. Like,
also, I reckon it's generational in it. I think mine and yours top five. I think our top five will be the same.
We'll be quite similar.
It will be mixed in terms of where they're positioned, but I reckon our top five will be the same.
I haven't even gone for position. I've just gone for man.
Yeah, no, not position. You've got to have it in position.
Position in terms of what number that you're going to
put. Okay.
Yeah, it's got to be 1 to 10. So you've got to have it in 1 to 10. So the best players you've ever seen, like shout out to Maradona and Pele. If I was doing it historically, they will be 1 and 2. But I didn't see them.
No,
I saw Maradona towards the end, 1990 USA. But he was raided, bro.
So obviously it's all going to be based. Obviously, it's opinion based for one because everyone's going to be on people's necks, yeah. But it's opinion based for one, yeah. And also, it's how long did you get to see them for? Because again, 90s, you're going to be picking up man at the latter end of their careers.
Yeah, but we're not saying that. We're saying you could put anybody from historically what you have seen. So I did say see Maradona, but I saw Maradona at the tail end. And he weren't the same Maradona. So I can't put him in my top 10. But historically, he should be between 1 and 3 for what he has done. He's 1 and 3, between 1 and 3. But I can't have him because I didn't see him and I saw him at the tail end in his career.
Bro, I can give you 5 off the back, but the others 5, it's a matters. Like, there's too many, bro. I feel the guilt of leaving man out,
That's why I've got some shout-outs as well.
I'm just trying to throw my list in, but I don't know. I don't even think I could do. Oh, man. You can't do 1 to 10 on this lot.
Right, can we have to exclude goalkeepers at least? Because otherwise I'm going to have to throw one in, and I don't want to waste the spot.
But you can throw a goalkeeper if you want, but I don't think a goalkeeper makes my top 10. There's so many great players. I've not seen a goalkeeper where I thought, oh my God. He has to be in it.
Well, I'm going to throw one in the hat now, and I'm going to go Jennings. Pat Jennings.
Who the fuck was that? I'm joking.
That is way off. That is way off from where I'm at still.
I said Pat Jennings.
Jennings, he was quality.
No, I know he. You know why?
Wowzer.
But in the top 10,
that was before your Schmeichels and all that, yeah.
1906 top 10 greatest players.
Telling you. If you're going in for top 10 keepers, he's in there, mate.
But we're not doing top 10 keepers. We're doing top 10 players.
I'm just saying, if you was ever to do a top 10 keepers, you can't miss out Jennings.
Like 1906, we had this little conversation beforehand. I said the only thing what I would say now is that goalkeepers are better now than they were they've ever been in the last 30, 40 years. So the goalkeepers you might talk about, Pat Jennings or Clements, personally, I don't think they are on Schmeichel's level all the way up to now in Edison. I don't think
different. Different eras, different genre, different. They had better attackers firing balls at them, and they were making saves than what they have in the modern day.
This is what I mean, bro. You can't.
Do you know what I mean? You got people like Nunes striking at you. Come on.
What I'm saying is,
come on. Instead of what, Keegan? Really?
Keegan's quality, by the way.
Cruyff and them.
So when you're talking about them goalkeepers pulling off saves back in the day, it was against quality.
I hear you.
Bro, it's mad, isn't it? It's generation.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'd be interesting. So, people, if you're watching this, put yours in the comments. Your 1 to 10 greatest footballers of all time, but you have got to have seen them. The criteria is what they've won individually, what they've won collectively as a team, what they've done longevity. Consistency is a given because they wouldn't be on the list. But one of the most important things, think of the eye test, not just stats, because some of the greatest players are statisticians. They don't make the list. And if you look at stats wise, they should. So one of the biggest things is eye test. Who was to go first? 906, Tobias?
I'm going to have Tobias go first. Tobias goes first. Come on.
Oh, you want me to go first? All right, my top 10.
No, all right. If you want to do 10, 10, 10, and we'll go through that way. I don't know how you want to do it.
Or we could go 1, 1, 1. We could do our first.
I reckon first is easy for me. If we work from first down, I know my first 5.
All right, so go for number 1. We'll say number 1. So Tobias, who's your first? Who's your number 1 pick?
R9.
R9. But how can you have R9 over Messi when R9's
because you said simply the eye test, bro. Like, I'm sorry. Like, R9 was on different stuff.
Different.
Stuff. And I'm not. This is where it gets political because, again, like you can't discredit what Messi's done, but bro, R9 was moving mad.
No, changed the game. One thing changed the game.
One thing about R9, and I don't think it's ever happened. Only Pele can say R9 was the best player on the planet when he was a teenager.
Bro,
so
the way his left foot, right foot was, yeah.
Bro, if you're looking about Barcelona, people forget he was a teenager. So he was 19, 20. So when people watch him on YouTube, they're thinking they're seeing 24, 25-year-old Ronaldo. This is Ronaldo at 19.
Yeah. He's moving. So
we've never seen anything like him. And strikers now, we've not seen anything close to him.
But this is why I get upset about the Haaland stuff. I like Haaland, don't get me wrong. But when I'm thinking back and I'm looking at people like R9, there's no way he's nowhere near the bracket.
Bro, I was going to leave that to the end. I was saying like what players could actually come in. But if you're talking about Haaland, people say they've never seen anything like Haaland. I've been saying this for years. I've seen Haaland. Haaland was Adriano, but Adriano didn't have the career. They're exactly the same footballer. Left foot, 6'4", rapid, strong. But Adriano chose the thug life, and then flipping Haaland is the player. I've seen Haaland.
Bro, Haaland's not on Batistu's level.
Bro,
it's going to get long. Come, I said my one.
You said R9. I don't know if you could have R9 as the greatest because of the injuries, but I understand that R9 is the most.
I'm taking R9. You see, I tested.
He was bringing injuries in for it. It's when he was kicking the ball.
I can't take in everything like into account. I can't take in longevity. I can't on all instances. I can't do that. This instance is R9, bro. I'm sorry.
I hear you. I've got Messi because it speaks for itself. I've gone for, I think he ticks the whole package, the boxes. Like, if you think all the stuff what I've just said, he's top 3. So if you go by eye test, top 3. Longevity, top 3. Consistency, top 3. Collectively for medals, top 3. Individually, top 3. So if he ticks all them boxes, for me, he has to be at the number 1 spot. But Brazilian Ronaldo, if he didn't have the injuries, we'll be saying he's the best player of all time. And it's not even a debate because he played in the era of the best defenders of all time. So
I'm not looking at him while he's in a cast, mate, or while he's got a knee bandage on. I'm looking at him when he's playing ball. What are you talking about injuries?
If he didn't have injuries.
Injuries did happen. Like injuries happen. They did because I know, and I hear you because Real Madrid. Brazilian Ronaldo was still better than everybody else, but that wasn't the real Ronaldo, bro.
So it's stupid, isn't it? You can't say like injuries was what it was. Then you're saying if it's injuries, you don't put Van Basten on your list because I'm not talking now. I'm talking in general. Because
it's just talking about on the pitch.
28. That 28 due to injuries. Injuries are unfortunate one. If it's lifestyle, then I'll take that.
But you can still have them guys on your list. But to be number one, I think all of that has to come into account.
Boy, 1906. What you say?
Hey, so you got number one?
Nah, mate. Nah. I ain't talking about injury. I'm talking about what I saw. What got people off their seats. Ball.
So if you got R9, you got R9 at number one.
I've got R9.
I hear you. I'm not even complaining because R9 is the GOAT, the GOAT number 9. I hear you. All right, number 2, Tobias. Who have you got?
Blessing.
906.
George Best.
Okay.
Best is up there like that.
Best, better than Ronaldinho. Zidane.
Now stick to your list, bro.
All right, George Best. All right, George Best at 2. Oh, Cristiano Ronaldo at number 2. I think what he's done. The only thing I've ever got him at number 1 to push Messi. He hasn't got a World Cup, but if you look at the goals, the moments, and people love to say that he wasn't as talented as Messi. I understand it, but if you go back and watch Man United, Cristiano Ronaldo, he was electric, taking players on step overs, skipping past man. He was getting players off the edge of their seats, and then he just changed again into this machine of goals to simplify his game. So he reminds you a bit like, if you watch basketball, like Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan was like that at start, and then he just simplified his game. And I think that's what Cristiano Ronaldo has done. So I've got him at 2. Okay. All right, Tobias, who you got at 3?
This is where it gets sticky, bro. Because again, you're gonna say one thing, I'm gonna say another, man. But Ronaldinho,
the GOAT. Oh,
bro, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
What a player!
Yeah.
What a player!
For me, no, bro.
Different.
So I'm sorry. Like I know what you're saying about Ronaldo. I'm a Man United fan. So, but
different.
But for me, when I used to watch Ronaldinho, technically, movement, like everything, it was stuff that it's stuff that he just could only imagine doing in a match.
Straight.
Like that is just that's like things I've never seen type stuff. He was doing that type of stuff.
And the thing is, I want to put it out there. To me, my 2 favorite players is R9 and Ronaldinho. I can't put them. They're both one for me. And if I could, the only thing I could say, if I could pick any footballer in history just to watch one game at their best, would be Ronaldinho, for entertainment wise, for everything. I think the best, like to me, what I've watched live on TV, the best game was the El Clasico. Real Madrid away when he scored 2 goals and they clapped him off the pitch. That's only happened to Maradona. And when I saw that, I remember watching that with my dad, and I said to my dad, I think I've just seen the best footballer I've ever seen in my life. And I know, Dad, you've seen Pele and Maradona. They ain't like that. I don't care. I don't need to see them. They are not like that. He was different.
No,
but
the
only thing is the longevity.
Beastie, just too beastie.
Dumb.
You don't want to like So I'm sorry. I'm favoritism. Totally biased out here, bro. Favoritism wins all the way for me. So. This is it, bro. It's my opinion.
Yeah,
it's what I like.
Great.
This is me, and this is who I am.
Great, and I ain't gonna complain. Ronaldinho at 3 to 1906. You got at 3.
Well, I'm going in Pele at this stage.
Pele at 3. So you're telling me George Best? No, fuck it.
No, you know.
No, I'm not having that. No. I'm not having that. No, sorry.
For this, understand it. I'm not talking about like what I saw. It's what I saw. I saw more.
You got to see Best more. I get that.
I got to see Best more than Pele. As big as Pele was, and what he was doing, I only saw him in the World Cup.
Yeah, I get it.
Lucky my dad word on there.
Do you know what I mean? Obviously, as a player, you think, oh, what did Pele do to what did George Best do? Yeah, right. But what I saw more of Best than what I did of Pele, and he was just fucking quality. Pele's obviously in my list, but George Best, you were seeing more of him, and what he was doing was just wizardry.
All right, so you got Ronaldinho at 3. Pele at 3. I've got the real Ronaldo at 3. To me, the only reason why I've got him at 3 because of injuries. But apart from that, we're not going to go over it. Apart from that, the greatest number 9 we've ever seen, would have been the greatest player of all time. And if you got him at the greatest player of all time, I understand it. All right, 4.
This is where Messi comes in for me.
You got Messi at 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Messi at 4. Tobias?
4? Again, it's what I like to watch season.
Yeah, I've got Zidane at 4. Zidane was the maestro. The ultimate big game player.
At 4, man.
And I think the guys who we've got in the game, they've changed the game of football. The players we were talking about. We haven't seen players. Cristiano, okay, we've seen them, but he's just simplified his game. But if I look at Messi, real Ronaldo, Zidane, they changed the game because we haven't seen anybody like them ever. They just played the game their way, and there's nothing you could do about it. He would everybody would play 100 miles an hour. Zidane will just play at his own pace, and you can't touch him.
Yeah.
You can't touch him.
Hold that middle.
You can't
Couldn't touch him. Rush man off. All of that.
Skills. And the thing is, I remember I was watching a small documentary, Jibril Cisse, talking about Zidane. He said Zidane didn't do the most extravagant skills like Ronaldinho. He would do the basic skills, but he would just do it better than everybody else.
Yeah.
It was silky.
His simplicity was magic.
You drop his shoulder in slow motion and you still going. Like, what the hell? What are you doing, bro?
And just walk off in installments afterwards.
I'm telling you, the whole stadium goes. You know, like everyone's like, what? Nah. Like,
Zidane will tell you, like, I'm gonna drop 2 step overs. They're gonna be nice and slow. I'm gonna go to the right. And there's nothing you can do about it.
But again,
nothing.
For me, I think when you look back at that, it's the Zidane was the Brazil game, which sort of set him apart.
He destroyed him. Destroyed him by himself. And he came out of retirement for that.
And the gang business headbutt on the World Cup final.
Serious guy, you can't fuck
shout out to that because when you can do that in the World Cup final,
and no one talks about it really. No
to
one
the
really
chest. To your chest. AQ Floor, remember the headbutt to the chest.
The look he gave the World Cup when he walked up as well was grown.
You don't even see that in wrestling.
No, that headbutt was vicious, man. Man headbutted him in the chest.
To the chest plate.
Didn't Materazzi say he only cussed his sister as well?
Yeah.
Something like that.
He was ready for smoke all day that day. I don't know what happened.
All right. So I've got Zidane at 4. You've got Zidane at 4. Tobias, 906, who do you have at 4?
See, now it was a toss-up between like Zidane and Cruyff.
Okay.
And I'm hearing what you lot are saying about Zidane, and yes, reflecting on Zidane, I could probably agree with that.
I want you to go Cruyff, man.
Cruyff was a player though.
Because Cruyff was just oh man, come on.
But didn't he have one of the greatest?
Smooth.
But did he have one of the greatest teams of all time, and they didn't win a World Cup though?
I don't care. It's what I saw him with the ball.
I'm just asking a question.
I don't care. I don't care if his aunt was married to a Nigerian. Listen, hear me nicely. I'm talking about what he was doing on the ball, man.
Shout out my Nigers, bro.
Man's bringing in all kind of nonsense into the conversation. What's that about?
Shout out my Nigers.
He didn't win a World Cup. He didn't win an FA Cup. He didn't. Come on.
No, I hear you. I'm just saying the question is, like, he had one of the greatest teams we've ever seen, and they didn't win a World Cup. Like, but I'm saying he's another one who changed the game. The Cruyff term, we still use that now.
He was game changer. Game changer.
That's the Holland way, though. That's just Holland. They find a way. They find a way, no matter what team they've got, to just capitulate. They're just built like that. I don't know what it is. What it is.
All right, 5, Tobias.
5 Ronaldo.
Cristiano. Okay.
Yeah.
906.
Zico.
Oh, what a player! But he's another one. Didn't win the World Cup.
You see what though? I hear you. Do you see Shaq? Yeah, Shaq talked about the stats man now. Yeah, 1906. Shaq talked about the stats man, but you've been throwing men out there that ain't done it, that are ballers. And
no, but the thing is, Tobias.
Let's do that big. Man was injured. Man broke his toe.
All right, Tobias. I think
Arnold never won the Champions League.
Yeah, but he won 2 World Cups. That's different, bro. World Cups is World Cups. Forget Champions League. But because Cristiano didn't win the World Cup. But like I said, I know, bar Cristiano Ronaldo, don't you think you have to win a World Cup to be in that sort of bracket? I don't know.
No.
I don't know too much. Well, international football back in them days,
it's different. That's tough to win. That
was when it was players stayed within their countries. You didn't. The scouting network wasn't there. You didn't know what anyone was doing. It was like,
and you had like like the teams weren't good. They still had world superstars in their team, like Bulgaria. Them man had Stoichkov and them man.
Stoichkov. Hadji was flying around.
Hadji for Romania.
Oh gosh!
This is what I'm saying, bro. This is so it gets sticky, bro. And plus, these new formations are just coming out, and no one knew how to counter them. So
straight.
Yeah, I get it. Like I don't. I think in yesteryear, I think it was much harder to win the World Cup.
Yeah, 100%. You've got Tobias and Cristiano, 906. You got at 5.
Romario.
Oh, baller! What a player! What a player! 1990 USA World Cup. That's where I remember Romario when he tore that World Cup apart. Him and Bebeto, and they won the World Cup for Brazil. What a player!
That was unit.
My dad loves Romario. My dad thinks he's the best player of all time.
Latter end of his career, man. I saw him latter end, so
but
he's man on my list.
I got Ronaldinho at 5 only because of the longevity, but the most gifted footballer I've ever seen in my life. We've talked about Ronaldinho. 6.
This is where it gets touchy, bruv. So.
He does. This is mad.
I was done with my 5. Now it's all about me. For me, it's going to be all about trying to fit defenders in there because I have to fit defenders in there. So I don't know where this 5 sits and how it's going to sit because I'm looking at
mine's mixed up from here on in.
And then it's just like, it's open season right now. I'm all over the shop when it comes to this one.
Yeah.
But
I got Romario at 6. I got Romario at 6.
Yeah.
We talked about Romario at 6.
I'll go Hadji.
What a player.
Hadji. Hadji was doing nonsense.
I hear you. Great player. But I got Romario at 6. Barcelona Romario. PSV Romario. If you want to look up, if you're kids who want to look up about number 9 strikers, taking PSV Romario. This is when the Dutch league was one of the best leagues in Europe, doing the madness. But I've gone for Romario. What do you go for again? Sorry, Tobias? Hadji.
Who did 906 go from?
96. Are you going for number 6?
Is that my Romario number 6?
Yeah, I got Romario at 6.
You had Romario at 5.
You had him at 5.
Did I?
Yeah, because I had Ronaldinho at 5.
Oh, yeah. As I say, it's all over the shop now. So I couldn't. I'm just going to throw it out there as the list comes in because it could be there or there. It could be there or there. And I'm going to go Dalglish.
Kenny.
Dalglish. Dalglish. Not only what he done at Liverpool, but in Scotland and everything else. When he was just a goal machine, absolute goal machine. When he got on the ball, he's doing what every modern day striker's doing now. Do you know what I mean? And then some.
I can see 1906's rest of his top 5 being all Liverpool. The rest of his 5 being all Liverpool.
It's not. No, it's not.
John Barnes still. All right.
Barnes did have a look in, actually.
I hear you. All right, number 7.
So I'm going to go Dalglish on that one.
All right, cool. Tobias, number 7.
Nah, did we have 7 already?
Yeah, 7.
Allow it.
I've gone Van Basten.
You gone Van Basten? All right.
His career.
No, but did you see enough of Van Basten though?
I did towards the end of his career when he was.
What channel did you have? What TV? What satellite dish you have?
Channel 4, bruv.
I don't reckon you
Channel 4, World Cup Italian, World Cup Serie A, mate. The AC Milan team with Woodhullet, Rijkaard, Van Basten. I watched that when I was a youth man. I remember that. And he's a guy that his career got cut short late 20s. I think it's 27, 28. I think if he'd have carried on, he's the only one. I don't think he's in the same level as R9, But if you're a big Van Basten fan, you could have had a conversation about it. Don't think he's nowhere near, but you could have a conversation. I think injuries cut short.
Yeah, well, this is. I think Van Basten's too early. I reckon. Van Basten, I can't say nothing. But for me, I didn't see him enough. Like there were the times for me where you only had the opportunity to see them in certain tournaments, most. And that goes for quite a few men in my list, because now you're looking at times in where it was Serie A football, where that was taking charge, but you got to see enough of that, and you was able to watch quite a few games. But I'm gonna go Roberto Baggio.
Baller. Didn't win a
World Cup. Nice.
Yeah, I know that penalty. I still remember him from that penalty.
And he had a great World Cup. I think he's maybe the second best player in that tournament behind Romario. It was very good.
Well, I'm gonna go Roberto.
Baller. 1906. What a player, though.
I told you it gets sticky and everything else.
Ponytail, you know. Badger on the ponytail.
I swear he had a fade and a ponytail.
He had a ponytail now. And he had beads. He had beads at the back.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, don't mess it. And he was the one who was wearing the Dioradoras, you know.
Dioradoras.
Oh, my God.
I got a pair of Dioradoras. White ones, yeah. Don't mess with me.
Yeah, Dioradoras.
Oh, my gosh.
Famous.
Centre half.
I don't know. Do they still sell Dioraras?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
but retro, they're expensive, bruv.
Yeah.
Damn, I bet. I bet if they're out on the market, they must be worth a mint.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to think of the brand that was so dead back in the day, that if you try and buy that stuff now, it's a matter. I can't think of it now. I saw it the other day. I was like, nah.
Dunlop's the one, bro.
Nah, it wasn't that one. It was even worse.
What about Lotto?
Gola.
Gola's about £100.
Is Gola hold its money?
Yeah,
is Gola hold?
Bro, don't play with
Gola. It's held its price.
And you look like you had bag of Golas back in the day.
I had my Golas. I had my Adidas Samba, Mamba, Bambas, all kinds, mate.
No, 1906 used to rock Golas like there was Air Force back in the day. You know,
of course.
Like, these Air Force.
Of course. What are you talking?
With a Fred Perry top.
Sergio Tacchini.
Pringle, Sergio's, Benetton's, you name it, mate. It was in there. Burberry's, Aquascutums. Where do you want to go?
1906. What have you got for 7?
Burkamp.
Okay.
Nah, bro. You know what?
Burkamp.
Did he say then?
No. You're crazy. Burkamp was bad. I don't know. He's top 10. He's top 50, but Birdie was bad.
Top 50, you know.
I can't hate on that one because Burkamp.
He changed the perspective of I don't know what was he, because he played right across the front there, didn't he?
One of the best first touches ever to have in football. He'll take that out for anywhere in the sky, man. Will bring that down like it was nothing. But
bring it down.
Can't mess with Bergs.
Yeah. All right, number 8. I've got Rivaldo.
That's where I was going.
Rivaldo. I think Rivaldo somehow goes under the radar because he played with Ronaldinho and R9. But arguably, the 2002 World Cup, Rivaldo is maybe the best out of the 3.
I was going Rivaldo.
And I think Rivaldo was ridiculous. He was in the era where that Barcelona team was trash, bruv. Them fake Dutch man was single-handed doing his thing. The best hat-trick I've ever seen in my life against Valencia. Man scored a bicycle quick, 25-yarder bicycle kick in the last minute to get him in the Champions League. The best hat-trick I've ever seen. Rivaldo. I don't think he's underrated, but he goes under the radar because he played with Ronaldinho and Brazilian Ronaldo. But I've gone for Ronaldo at 8. Rivaldo at 8.
I've gone Rivaldo at 8.
906.
But saying that, you've gone Rivaldo, I'm going to switch it out because he's in there. So I would have went for Rivaldo at 8, but you're going him, so I'm going to throw in. Del Piero,
sideburns.
Oh, no, you know what? I love Del Piero.
I don't think Del Piero is better than Rooney. I think that's a more of a. And I don't think Del Piero is better than Henry.
I know.
I don't think Del Piero is better than Suarez.
That's mine. That's me. That's my next one. That's
I
Henry.
hear you on that one. I hear the argument. I hear everything. But for me, every time I watch,
I know you love Del Piero. He used to give Man United that work. That's why I like him.
Yeah, I don't, bro. I love it. For Saturn, there's just Saturn, bro. You know when you're, I don't know what it is. Certain time when you're just attracted to players. Not in that way. Pause, but yeah.
All right, 1906, 8.
Henry.
Henry, okay.
Henry. Silk on the ball.
All right, who's
Silk
better?
on the ball.
Quickly, who's better? Peak Henry or peak Luis Suarez?
Oh, that's a tight.
Because if you got Henry at 8, personally, I think Luis Suarez is a better player. I think if you look at the whole body of work, I think Luis Suarez is better.
That's you in it. Like that.
No, but I'm just saying.
I hear you. You can argue all day about it.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I'm just saying.
This is where it gets sticky because it's all opinion based.
You can't be right or wrong on that one.
Henry's a beast.
He brought finesse to the game. Henry brought a bit of finesse to it.
If you say he was dead, then I hear it. You know what I mean? But if you appreciate the play, then you just got to roll with it and just know that's him.
All right, 2 more spots left, 9 and 10. This way, to me, it could have been anybody, but 9 and 10. Tobias, who have you got at 9?
Lothar Matthäus.
Lothar Matthäus, what a player. What a player. Ooh. He's a shout out for me. He didn't make the top 10, but what a midfielder. Arguably the best number 8 we've ever seen, mate. Number 8. He was an absolute monster. Then played centre back towards the end of his career and bossed it.
That was the times. And he played late, bro. I swear he was
late 40.
He was in the 99 finals.
Yeah. He was late 30s. Like
next to Kafur. Yeah.
But I hear you. What a player at 906.
All right, controversy. Ready? Barnes.
Johnny B. What a player.
John B, yeah.
I hear you.
John Barnes. Come on.
I hear you. John Barnes.
Come on.
He's his favourite players of all time.
Yeah, I hear
He's not the best. You might as well say man's favourites, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what.
Come on. When he was taking on man, it was just like for fun, wasn't it? Come on.
I hear you. It could have been anybody. I've gone Iniesta at 9. I think that Barcelona team was arguably the best team I've seen in a generation.
I hear you.
I've got Iniesta at 9. It could have been Pirlo. He's a toss-up between him and Pirlo.
Yeah, I'm going to have to rob him for 10 now.
When you're looking at it at the time, I'm going Pirlo.
There you go.
Iniesta or Pirlo, and I went Pirlo.
I'm going to have to rob him for my 10. I'll have to rob him for my 10.
I've got Iniesta at 9. And what you've got at 9?
Pirlo. I love Pirlo. Yeah. Bro, you know what? Yeah, you've got to appreciate a player that has 0 physical attributes.
None. Iniesta was the same, though. Iniesta was the same, but at least he was sharp with it. He was pacey.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, Pirlo just didn't look like he broke a sweat.
No. Pure footballing and technique.
He didn't look like he broke a sweat. Like he was stupid. And he didn't look like he struck a ball properly. Bro, I can't explain it. He was just.
I've seen Pirlo balls wrapped into him, and he's played first 30-yarder reverse pass, and no one's seen the pass. No one. No one. Even I'm watching TV, you don't see it, and he wrapped it in, and it's in through ball. I'm like, he was ridiculous. All right, so you got Pirlo 9. I've got Iniesta. You got Pirlo as well. Did you 9 and 6? Did you have a 9? Barnes, Barnes.
Right. Barnes.
Last one. I've got Maldini at 10. I just wanted to get centre half him. I think Maldini. I've got Maldini at 10.
I'm going to have to rob your Iniesta for that one, but it was a toss-up between Iniesta and Jota. Do you know what I mean? So.
Yeah, you're trying to. I heard you. I heard you, but I just dismissed that. You wanted to buy it.
No, I was going to go until you brought up Iniesta. I was going to go Keegan.
Okay. Yeah, beast.
But yeah.
No, I'm happy you've got Maldini in there because he is on the list.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw a midfielder out there. Seedorf.
What a player! Oh,
Clarence.
What a player!
Seedorf.
To me, he's got a special shout out. I didn't really have him in my top 10, but people talk about De Bruyne now, and I think De Bruyne is great. 25-year-old Seedorf, Inter Milan Seedorf, bald-headed AC Milan Seedorf. De Bruyne can't fuck with that, bruv. None of them could fuck with that. I'm telling you, the most underrated footballer.
You say that. It took me time to get into him, you know. It took me some time to warm to Seedorf, and then it was like, okay, watched a couple of games with him, and I was like, yeah, I can see what people are saying.
What can he do? That's what it comes down to. What can he not
do?
Everything. There's nothing he can't do.
Everything.
So,
everything. And if you watch him in the flipping, like the Vets games, he's still can play now. Beast.
But then I'm saying that, yeah. But then I'm thinking, and there was one that I had to try and get in there somehow, and I missed him. George.
Yeah, he's a shout out.
George.
I got him shout outs. I got my shout outs was George Weah, Hullet, Pirlo, Cafu, Makalele, Henry, Batistuta.
Henry, Batistuta, yeah. Figo.
Luis Figo, Luis Suarez.
And one out there, I do not care what anyone tells me. I might not have seen him all the time. Every time I saw him, he was Madders, Valderrama.
Yeah, beast.
Don't play Valderrama.
Did he play in Europe though? I don't think he played in Europe.
He played in the USA.
Yeah.
He played in the USA, I'm sure, for most of his career. But bro,
I think them cartel man had him, bro. Yeah.
Huh?
I think them cartel man had him. He couldn't really.
They must have because he was.
Did you throw Fowler in there?
Fowler has to get, but Suarez, Thuram,
Desai.
See, Nedved. That's the one. That's I'm surprised I should have said him. I was meant to say him at 7, but he didn't put in there. But Nedved is the one. Nedved.
Who had Baresi in there? One.
Baresi. Yeah, Baresi.
Nesta, Cannavaro. Come on, man. This is what I'm trying to say now. Football's dead now.
Yeah.
That's for another show. That's for another show.
This is why it might be generational. I'm not sure if it says same your side 1996 where you can go further back than like 90s and early 2000s. But for me, I can just start reading off players and just like, oh yeah, and it gets stupid. And now, if I was to do that now, I'm pausing at 11.
I hear you.
Yeah.
But yeah,
it starts getting muddy. I'm sure people will come in and with in the chat with other
100%.
with other ballers that you just think, oh my god, yeah. Would you sneak him in? Who would you take out your 10 for that one? All of that.
100%, guys. Who would you have in your top 10? Put it in the comments. We've said what we've said. We've gone by what I said, the criteria.
I've just gone by the first 5 was what it was. The last 5 was who I enjoyed watching the most.
Yeah, I hear you. But guys, put your top 10 greats of all time and see if it matches with ours. 906, I'll leave you the last word.
Was there any English players in there?
No, he had John Barnes, didn't he? John Barnes. You had John Barnes and Keegan.
Yeah, Keegan made it.
Yeah, no Englishman for me, but not ready. Didn't make the cut. They even get a shout out.
Fowler though.
No, Fowler.
Shearer, you got to shout out Shearer though. You know what? I used to hate Shearer growing up, But if you look,
Shearer's not the same level as Batistuta and them, man.
Yeah, I hear you, but I got to shout out Shearer, man.
Yeah, man. I love Shearer, but he don't get a shout out still. He don't make that cut still.
No shout out for Raul, no.
What a player!
Ooh.
Raul was great, but he was in the era of great strikers.
The list goes on.
All right, last bit.
No, come on, bro.
Last bit before we go, because it's going over time. Last bit before we go. Any modern players would you think would make it in the next 20 years?
In the top 10?
In the top 10. Like an Mbappe or Haaland. Would they make it in the next? No. But if you've got Henry, but the thing is, if you've got Henry, but ain't Mbappe better than Henry when at the same age?
You can say I've got Del Piero, and that's who I was going to put Neville over Del Piero. But I don't know, man. It's all again. It's when you get people of their generation and they're doing their list,
Yeah.
Mbappe's going to be in that list, isn't it? Because he's going to be from.
But you're going to get your hated one like De Bruyne in that list. You will get him in that.
Yeah.
So
because I was asking my daughter about the list, and she had players like De Bruyne in Salah.
Yeah, of course, because that's who she's seeing.
It's who you see. It's who you see.
Do you know what
I mean? Men like Nunes might get in. You never know.
That's when football's trash, bro. Most of the worst, the most deadest footballers of all time.
Listen, 1906 won't die until Carvalho makes it.
I know Carvalho's coming back.
Listen, they put him out to farm. Do you know what I mean? He's going to come back a stronger player. But how on earth, can I just quickly say, how on earth can you farm him out and still put a top on Curtis Jones? And who's that other clown? Who's the other little one?
Hey, Harvey Elliott.
Elliott.
906.
I don't know. I don't know what Klopp is seeing. I really don't know what he's seeing. But I don't get it.
I'm going to have the last word. Carvalho's trash, bro. We are real talk football TV.
Better than Cater. Better than Naby.